Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Almighty Blues Cricket. Yes, it is that day, the Derby day in Almighty Blues Cricket, in IPL, of course. But yeah, I had to have a Chennai fan because it's Chennai versus Bangalore. But yes, people out there, जो भी join कर रहा है यार, एक चीज याद रखना, ये channel is not only for RCB, it is for all the franchises, and it's called Almighty Blues Cricket. So we are planning to cover Indian cricket, and that is basically the long time objective. Or yes, big up to Shrey Patil to join. Ha, nice intro. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Amar Reddy as well. SRH ki jeet over Mamu. Yes, yes, we'll discuss that for sure, and a lot more which is coming up as well. Again, Prasanna, welcome back to Almighty Blues Cricket, bro. How are you feeling? I know that on the other hand, both of us Chelsea fans are kind of nervous, but for sure, right now is the rivalry time between Chennai and RCB. How are you feeling?
Yeah, man. First time we both are not on the same page for once. Before either Chelsea or Indian cricket, we always used to have all same views kind of thing. But this time it's like
Yeah, yeah.
totally different sides of the spectrum. So this is
Yes,
going to be fun.
yes. Exactly. Prasanna showing in the thumbnail what is exactly feeling like. To be very honest
I
about it,
mean,
okay, let's get it right, Prasanna. RCB के पास मौका नहीं मिलता. It's finally time that RCB can say that okay, we are kind of overpowering Chennai, but I won't speak too early because we know history speaks for itself. I think what 18 games to 99 games, right? That is the difference. CSK has dominated against RCB. जितना भी बोलोगे, it's a proper rivalry. It's basically a derby, whatnot. I've been to many CSK RCB match in Chinnaswamy. I remember the kind of atmosphere there is. That's proper rivalry. Trust me, proper rivalry. There used to be like proper fights in the stadium, in the stands. But at the end of the
yeah,
day,
man.
CSK.
And the thing about sorry to cut you off, but the thing in Chinnaswamy is CSK and RCB fans they'll be equally present and they'll equally be a great atmosphere between the teams. So that is one thing that is brilliant to see. That's the sort of rivalry one. Hopefully it doesn't get toxic. Hopefully it doesn't get
Oh
across
yeah,
the
yeah,
line.
yeah.
But
Of course, of course.
as long as there is friendly fights and banter, that's what
Yeah.
we love to see, man.
And I think that's what I respect about Chennai always. Like the Chennai, as in it's no secret that the Chennai fan base is educated fan base when it comes to cricket, right? And that is something that we all know. Same thing as a Chepak, you would say, right? As in that's something that has always been over the years. Of course, this year again, as in recent years, it's not there in Bangalore, Chennai, but again, be it in Mumbai, whatever. I think that Dhoni, versus Kohli, despite both of them not being captains, it's kind of weird, right? To actually see that. But again, Faf versus Jaddu, man. As in, imagine Faf, who's been like Chennai in and out, and today it's a kind of a big day for him as well to kind of prove that oh no, he's come to RCB big time. Like even before that, I know there's still time for the toss. And again people, as always, do like the stream. Check out Prasanna's channel. If in case you're not, trust me, this guy knows his stuff when it comes to cricket, football, European football, and Indian football. So yeah, as in we will be hopefully discussing football in the future in Almighty Blues FC. But coming to now, I think first let's start off with what happened yesterday. And of course, Amar will be happy because Amar is a Sunrisers fan. Close game, I would say, fairly close. But again, I think we knew that Sunrisers had it once they kind of had only 163 to chase. So let me actually try and share the scorecard. But quick reaction about that, Prasanna. Gujarat. Okay, let's actually see the table as well. But Gujarat, do you think it was too good to be true the first 2 weeks, and then the kind of bowling is kind of lacking, right, for them?
I mean that is that, but you're not going to win all your games. I mean that's
Yeah, yeah, of course.
physically impossible. I mean 3 games, 3 wins, maybe one loss. It might have had to happen, but Sunrisers, man, they're doing pretty good. Their bowling is stepping up. Even their batting is stepping up. The likes of Abhishek Sharma, who people were criticizing, saying why is he playing there? You could rather play Adam Markram there, but he's slowly showing his worth now, and that's what youngster like him should feed off. Like he needs a run of games to prove his worth. And we saw Kane Williamson doing Kane Williamson things. He is just such a calm person who knows what he's doing in the middle. Until he's there in the middle, I know you,
Yeah.
both RCB and CSK very well know that this guy can finish games single-handedly. I mean, we have seen. And
Yeah, I think that is the top three of Sunrisers. I must say that top three, especially with Abhishek Sharma kind of looking gritty now. Finally, I think you can safely say that it's finally time that okay, the top three is again back, and again Nicholas Puran getting a hit yesterday. That was very important for them. But looking at that particular as in table, I know a quick watch there. As in almost I cannot see Chennai here. No pun intended, Prasanna, but I'm pretty
We
sure
used to
you
do
would
that
want to
for
get up the
Arsenal. My first 3 games, we had to scroll over the phone to see that position. But yeah, how
yeah, yeah.
tables turn quick.
Exactly. But come on, SRH has got 2 wins. To Amar and all SRH fans, there is still hope. I think they are kind of getting their act together. Gujarat again, fifth. So I think maybe Prasanna, okay, except for maybe Mumbai and Chennai, who we know that they're kind of still figuring out things. Except for those two, the remaining table is kind of looking the way that I personally predicted. Only maybe surprise being Punjab. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, we can clearly see that results of auction are proving out to be the winners here. Both Chennai and Mumbai, in all due respect, we both messed up at the auction big time. We tried to just stick for the same names and we went high for 2 youngsters, and that didn't work. When you compare, you look to RR or even RCB, some of the players were still remaining, but they added pretty good names. So even
Yeah.
Kolkata, they invested big time in Strategize side, who in my opinion is totally worth it. He's totally
Yeah,
worth
yeah.
it because he's a young he I think he will be our next Indian captain to be fair. He our next
Yeah.
captain to be fair.
I remember we had a proper discussion, me and Prasanna, on this channel itself. We had a proper
Yeah.
stream, great stream, and thought people to check it out in case you missed it. We spoke about when Virat Kohli stepped down. We had a detailed kind of analysis as to who should be the Indian captain in every form of the competition, right? But again, as in, let's take a deeper look here. Again, Matthew Wade, okay, as in you can say
And
that
there's one
basically.
stat just I would like to bring before we go
Yeah,
through
yeah.
this. So Gujarat Lions were there in 2016, 2017. Gujarat Titans now. So they play. So these two teams have played 6 games against each other. Guess the head-to-head between them.
Don't tell me Gujarat has lost all his games. Is it?
Correct.
Yeah, and then
6
again,
0
yeah, interesting that because Gujarat at that time was it Suresh Raina, if I remember right?
Yeah, he was captain. Yeah.
Correct, Suresh Raina's team. I remember that as in RCB had a as in that game where ABD kind of rose up, that
Yeah, qualified one.
exactly. Wow. That. But again, as in, let's not kind of stick to RCB here only. But again, I think Gujarat, the batting is not a major issue. Hardik Pandya looks good. Miller again, a little bit of question mark. Abhinav Manohar, you think he's kind of made his name and he's kind of there for good now? I think he's had a couple of good innings now, right? Abhinav
Yeah, he
Manohar.
has, and he also, like, with all due respect, he also benefited from the fact that SRH didn't want to take his catches for some reason. I mean, how many chances SRH dropped in the field? Lucky for them, it didn't pay off. It didn't cost them in the end. But you cannot afford to drop so many catches. Saying that, he still had to get them runs, and Hardik Pandya's score is a big worry because 50 or 42 is definitely not a number you want to see. And given where they ended up, you would definitely say
Mhm.
they were at least 10-15 runs short.
Okay, yeah. As in, I would agree there. And let's take a couple more comments here. Bowie to Finch in swinger.
Yeah,
Okay,
then
Bowie is
always
like, yeah,
moving
he
to
knows
Finch
it.
is always a one-side battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Shreyas, as in Amar is agreeing here. I don't agree with Hardik Pandya being good. I'm absolutely not impressed with his batting this year. But you know what? He has a role, right, Amar and Prasanna, because for me, that role of number four, it's important because if Gujarat is not having that number four, unfortunately, Miller, he has been tried in various teams. He has not done that, on a longer term basis. So Miller, they're getting a number five, and he's going to be that, as in the player who plays a Hetmeyer kind of innings. That's what they are hoping for, right? As in, and Avina Manor, they cannot expect him to do a number four job who kind of study his entire innings. So I think Hardik Pandya is important because the top three are not as reliable. Shubman Gill, Hardik Pandya, crucial there. And
Yeah.
again, Rahul Tewatia, Rashid Khan will be your, as in last 10-15 balls kind of player. So for me, it's about the balance here. Yeah, you can say they are taking off Hardik Pandya, but again, maybe he's batting at four, so it's giving him enough time to take a breather, come and bowl because he's bowling, Prasanna. So are you impressed with that? Because I think he has been bowling pretty decent, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just bowling. He's bowling up top. He's willing to take the responsibility and bowl up top. When we were all asking whether how is he going to bowl, what is his future in bowling? I mean, what is there? What is he actually going to do? Is he just going to bat? But the way as a captain, he's taking responsibility. That is very good. And if you see
Yeah.
just that batting order, just go to the Gujarat or batting order once.
Yeah, so I think with Gujarat, see,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean
So
that's
here,
number
every
three is the problem.
so every good score is set up by a good opening partnership. If we don't have a good opening partnership, the middle order has to score at least 70 or 80 to get to even a
Correct,
decent
correct,
score. And
correct.
And
Yeah.
that's why Pandya, I think, kind of struggled because even Miller wasn't hitting. Abhiram Manohar was the only one who was standing there. And sometimes it's one of them innings where literally nothing connects off your bat. You just try to swing every
Hmm.
single ball and it ends up at
Yeah.
the toe end of the bat or it ends up at the top edge. So, I mean, we have seen it happen to we have seen it happen to all players. So, probably a one-off could be excused, um, but saying
But
that,
you know what? Interesting one. What a ball to wait, though. You know what? Interesting part is, but again, people who've joined the stream, as usual, do like the stream and do take the poll as well. Check out Prasanna's channel. If not, please subscribe as well. Now, Umran Malik, man, as in the top five, I think, as in fastest balls in the entire Premier, Indian Premier League this particular season has been Umran Malik. Hey, talk about him, man. This guy is like only pace, and that's good to see for a change, right? As in, this guy is just coming hard and bowling hard, and that's what has been given. Luckily, as of now, they're not trying too much experimentation with him. Do you want him to continue this way if he has to kind of get up the ranks?
yeah, he has to because when was the last time an Indian bowler actually clicked 150? I can't remember
Yeah.
any.
And he was over 150 consistently. That's the whole
Yeah,
point. Oh, 151, 152, 153 kind of
exactly.
stuck
When
at.
was the last time we saw an Indian bowler do that in any
Yeah.
format, let alone like I can't remember one. So obviously, he will go for runs because for every extra element of pace, there's always the risk of giving a top edge or a short ball easy runs, or if he bowls it on a length, they're obviously going to drive
Mhm.
him and it's not going to be able to stop. So we should just let him have his own way. I mean, how old is he? Umar Malik? Is he like 19,
Yeah,
20
he's a,
something?
he's a youngster, man. He's literally a youngster. He's like a kid now. So he
So
has
exactly.
still
So
more
we have
muscles
to
to
allow him
build.
to grow. So that's we
Exactly.
should not stop him.
Exactly.
Let him just keep going. Obviously, as a youngster, you make mistakes. That's how you learn. So let him
Yeah.
just continue that way, and he should be definitely our leading India's leading frontline bowler in a few years because that is the way his trajectory is going. Yes, he will make mistakes, but that's how you learn.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he'll probably
he will
try him in
definitely
red
come
ball
good
as
at
well.
least in the second half of the season because last part second only he started only in the second part of the season and he did fairly well. So this
Mhm.
part he's trying to get accustomed to such conditions in India, and hopefully he'll have a good second part of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Your field placement was great though yesterday by Kane for Umran. Yeah, then Kane Williamson, man, he is shrewd. And let's put it that way. But I think Washington Sundar, I think he's injured if I'm not wrong. Correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
he might be out for the next couple of weeks, possibly.
yeah,
That's what the
possibly, yeah,
news is. And again, like and then of course, like I didn't share. I think just after finishing the last stream, I realized that okay, unfortunately, Hardik Pandya has lost. I think his sister. So he, sorry, not
Harshal
really,
Patel,
Harshal Patel, and that is like really sad news.
yeah,
And of course, he won't be there either for RCB for the next couple of weeks. But as in Mayor's soul, rest in peace, man. It's really sad news.
yeah,
It just kind of struck me as I ended the stream last one a couple of days ago. But here again, coming to like Gujarat, I don't know what different can they do. I think again Hardik Pandya is there in the middle order just so that no one else is taking the responsibility. If not, they would have been good. But again, in the bowling, Lockie Ferguson, they'll probably hope more as the season goes on. Mohammad Shami, but again, those are again your pace bowlers who will get hit sometimes, who will take wickets sometimes. Rashid Khan, man, against Hyderabad, how was his performance? I think they knew what to expect, right? Kind of.
exactly. And he's not been the Rashid Khan we have seen of old. I mean, I think maybe that people are starting to read him more often than not because he runs through his
Mhm.
overs so quick that before he think he'll finish this over, it's over. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. And SRH in the first 4 overs they scored only 11 runs. They started extremely slow,
Yeah, but,
and
but
after
that's
that
the
they
thing.
picked up
I
the
think
pace. After that they
it's
picked
about
up the
keeping
pace.
wickets. I think
Huh?
it's about keeping wickets for them because
Yeah, they
they
did,
don't
and
have a
that,
good
that was
order.
their strategy. That was their
Yeah.
strategy. They looked at how the pitch was playing, and the score was also not a big one. The score was like 168, some 169 something. So they could afford to play those 2 or 3 overs. But
Hmm.
saying that they still batted after the batting on the first 4 overs. The Lockie Ferguson came in, and Kane Williamson and Abhishek Sharma just took him apart. And after that, it was SRH's game all the way.
Absolutely. Here again, Nikhil has a comment, and I know Amar has commented there as well. It's about this Ashwin retired out, man. Only Ashwin could do that in the game of cricket, man. Like this guy, like almost, you get it, like subconsciously he's trying to get out, or get the opposition out somehow, which is something new, man. This is like totally different. But again, to be honest, the retired out thing was something that even I had forgotten about. But that is part of the game. Again,
Yeah.
it's about cricket rules, and sometimes it's weird, but it is part of it. So I think they've got to go with it, right?
Of
Yeah,
course, he
luckily.
is literally teaching us the rules of cricket. I mean, whenever he gets some spare time in between, that's it.
Exactly. And I think Ashwin is kind of, as in he's there. One of the reasons that he does is like he studies the game so much, and he's there to kind of impart knowledge. Hopefully, it doesn't affect RR with his experimentation. I'm pretty sure it wasn't
As long
conscious.
as they're winning, they won't care.
Yeah, exactly. But again, as in obviously big game coming back to CSK versus RCB, man.
Yeah.
Now, what are the changes that you're looking at for CSK? Again, I will take the scorecard of the last game that you had, but meanwhile, if you can just touch upon what are the things that you see CSK should be changing in terms of personnel, in terms of tactics.
I mean, I don't know why Pretorius was rested for the last game because the previous two games he was our best bowler, so taking him out made no sense. So
Yeah,
I
and
would
it's,
bring him.
he's not a pacey bowler that is very tired or something like that also. So it was
Yeah,
very, very kind
he
of
he he just
surprising.
knows what to bowl. He's basically a Bravo 2.0. I
Correct,
mean,
correct.
he's just a younger version of Bravo. So Pretorius and Bravo at the end is what we should be looking for. And maybe somewhere in the middle at the end is where those two should be definitely bowling. And
Yeah.
I think if Milne is fit, he should come in for Chris Jordan. I think that should
Yeah.
be another thing because if Milne is fit, I prefer Milne any day over Jordan because Jordan at the death is very suspect. I mean, one game he did well against Punjab Kings, fair enough, but he is so inconsistent at the death. Wherever he
Mhm.
goes, he has pace. He is like a hit the deck bowler, but sometimes he's just so inconsistent with his length at the death that he gets hit for runs. And I would keep probably the rest of the lineup as it is because obviously the four foreigners count obviously Moeen Ali, Bravo, Milne or Jordan, and even Pretorius and Manish Tikshana. So these four foreigners are there. Other Indians, there's not much of a problem. And I think I would keep Mukesh Chowdhury. He's getting better by the game.
He's
He's not
getting
obviously
better.
finished the article yet, but he's getting a bit better. So, and at the top, man, see the reason why CSK won last year was basically due to the top two, Rutraj Gaikwad and Faf du Plessis.
Yeah.
Both of them were the top leading run scorers of the tournament, and whenever both of them didn't perform, there was a gaping hole that was exploited by the opposition. And in games when even one opener failed, the other opener would stay for at least 10 to 12 overs. And that's what
Mhm.
Gaikwad needs to do because Gaikwad has big weaknesses against pace bowling, sometimes against the moving ball. So if he can see off the new ball, he can bat out the spinners well because last year's against spinners, he batted extremely well. Like he batted well against Hasaranga, Rashid Khan, Teotia, etc. He plays spinners extremely well. He can calculate them shots. So I think he needs that first 6 overs just to set in. He looked a bit better against SRH, although he was done in by a great in swinger by Natarajan. But I think he needs to stay those 6-7 overs. And if he does that,
Yeah.
he can definitely make a big score. And first six overs, his strike rate is not more than 120 per se. And after
Yeah.
that, only
So
he begins to accelerate.
I just have a couple of points here. So here, obviously, let's take a few comments here. The
Yeah.
decision of Ashwin was taken by the team confirmed by Sanju Samson. Okay, interesting. And
Yeah,
yes,
I think Sangakkara, they all made the decision.
correct. And he stopped bowling off spin to right-handers, absolutely. And that's what he does. As in his variation have become a bit too variant. But again, it's Ashwin, man. He's a shoot bowler. I'll give it to
He just
him.
knows what he's doing, simple as.
Exactly. As RR fans, thank you RCB for Shimla Redman. I think all the other franchises can thank RCB.
Yeah.
Literally, I think I was coming to that itself because Chennai, talk about Chennai. So I think Prasanna was talking about Jordan, Milner, both have, played for RCB. Moeen Ali is there, Shivam Dube is there, as a lot of players. Uthappa, obviously, be a proper Bangalorean. I have kind of,
Karnataka.
hit shoulders against him. Absolutely fantastic that we get to see in the IPL that kind of contest as well. The mini contest that goes on always. So there will be some banter going on, pretty sure on that. And Deepak Chair. Now Reports say he might be out for the season. There is another injury. I think it's another injury, not the injury that he had. So it might be Ishant Sharma. Ishant Sharma is likely replacement Prasanna. First thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm not sure on that, because if you see that they cheeky in the last line adds that sources said that he's considered to this age factor. That is a huge tongue-in-cheek comment.
Exactly. What is that? What was that? Man, I'm like, man, I was like, okay, that comment was just there because I was reading it or what? It's kind of
that was so tongue-in-cheek of them. But I don't know. I mean, I would give Hunger Kaker a chance, because we have seen so much of him in practice sessions. He's been picked up so much. Of course, he had a wonderful under-19 World Cup. So we might as well give him a chance, because Deepak Char is obviously he will obviously be first choice walking to this team. But I think we could do with sticking with Mukesh Chaudhary, and the way he's getting better every game. So I think he's
okay.
also still a
Let me
youngster,
actually.
and again, he should get a run
Yeah.
of games to prove himself. Simple as.
See the bowling. Another reason that I was surprised is that Moeen Ali, like he has always done well in Indian conditions against Indian batsmen. I don't know whatever it is. For some strange reason, he's not being bowled. Maybe it's the role that he's been given. But I think you do think there's as in a strong point, especially against RCB, Virat Kohli of the likes. Moeen Ali probably should come on bowling early and bowl probably 2-3 overs in tandem.
Probably. And
Hmm?
around, say Kohli comes around like what, fourth, fifth, fifth over, sixth over, something around that range. So, and I think that will definitely be taken into consideration, because Moeen Ali is not a bowler who's going to give you 4 overs. He's going to give you 2 or 3 overs at max if he's taking
Mhm.
wickets. So, Dhoni, what he did last season was he looked to slip him in, and slip him in if the wicket is taking a bit of turn. That's how he brought Moeen Ali in, because Jadeja will mostly give you 3-4 overs, and
Yeah.
and that's another problem. We lack a proper finger spinner. We lack an good Indian fast bowler, and we lack a proper finger spinner. That is 2 reasons why we haven't bowled as well as in this tournament. And power play wickets are a big issue. We only have 2 power play wickets in 4 matches. One of them was a run out. So
Yeah.
properly bowling wise, it was only one, and that was Mayank Agarwal in the second ball. And apart from that, we have struggled in the power play to take wickets. And you can't afford to let batsmen to have their way. You have to pick them up in the first 3-4 overs. You should
Exactly.
not allow them to settle. Because
Yeah.
if you allow them to settle, they're obviously going to score big.
Exactly. And not that we have done very well, the RCB, but again, Chennai, I think power play bowling has been a big issue. And again, Deepak Chahar is a huge miss there. यहाँ पर I think Nikhil, मेरे ख्याल से जहाँ पर rule था after that World Cup which happened with England, New Zealand, it was decided right as a super over as again a draw. They just play one more over each, right?
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
exactly that what happens. I'd say CSK bowling lineup is nothing to be scared of. Well, nothing I wouldn't say because there are kind of some matchups there. For sure, especially with Virat Kohli being there today. But again,
Toss in
they're
2 minutes,
strong.
right? I think.
Pardon me?
Toss in 2 minutes, I think. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
almost
toss
8:30.
is
Yeah.
just a minute to go exactly. But again, like I know again people who joined, I hope everyone like the stream. Check out Prasanna's channel as well. But coming to RCB again, RCB, I think again, touchwood, we are doing well. We are knowing how to kind of finish matches. That's the biggest thing. I think the biggest change what I have seen for RCB this season till now. Again, I am touching wood again and again when saying that
Just give
is
me
the
one
fact
minute.
that
I'll be quickly. I'll be
sure.
back. Just give me 1 minute.
Yeah, again, people, correct me if I'm wrong. What about you? What has been the difference maker for RCB? For me, वो finishing element है RCB में इस बार क्योंकि we are having those number 5, 6, 7 who are not great, absolutely fantastic out of the world cricketers, but they know their job or वो actually can get you that 15 of 5 balls, 20 of 10 balls, or even when it comes to bowling, हमारे पास है again. Harshal Patel, really sad जो हुआ और looks like Siddharth Kaul will come in आज in his place, and that would be a major blow. But would you actually, again, neutrals, आप बोलिए मुझे, would you play Hazelwood? Hazelwood was brilliant for CSK. He's just come back in RCB setup, or David Willey, who was also part of CSK setup in the past. Remember, so I don't know. With Harshal Patel not being there, thoda Harshal Patel can hit the ball in the end. We'll miss that. Siddharth Kaul cannot do that. So Siddharth Kaul comes in. That's what I am assuming. Like in the other one, it'll be interesting that whether they get in Hazelwood right off the bat because the batting will get even more weaker because David Willey can bat, right? So that is the think that is the only big question for me. राजस्थान कब टॉस जीतेगा भाई? राजस्थान अच्छा करी टूर्नामेंट में. निखिल, आप खुश रहिए. I think that's what matters. For others, I think toss is more important. Rajasthan is a brilliant side. As in, Rajasthan will be in the top 4, and I can give it in writing. Nikhil, लेकिन I think we have won the toss. RCB has won the toss, and Jaddu bhai के लिए पूछना चाहिए. When will he win the toss, man? The guy is really been losing tosses for fun, right, Prasanna?
Yeah, I mean, but saying that, toss is not really in your hand. Exactly. I mean, so RCB they chose to bowl.
Yeah, chose to bowl. That's a given, right, in IPL, especially in this round. Was it? Yeah, it was this round, right, where we actually got 205 on the board, our unlucky number, and we went on to lose against Punjab in the first game.
Yeah, so and that's the thing. So one thing with RCB is I've seen difference with Kohli's batting a bit already, because he's taking those risks, getting down spinners, taking those 1-2s. I mean, he still used to do that, but he's doing a bit more often now. And with DK in the back, you definitely have someone who can smash out in the last 5 overs for fun. So that is one thing that RCB has definitely benefited of. And now that Maxwell is in, who can be trusted even more. And Anuj Rawat has come good in the last game against Mumbai. I'm sure Faf du Plessis will definitely chance his arm. And even RCB's bowling looks pretty good. Even without Harshal Patel, I think Siddharth Kaul can do a job. I mean, he was brilliant at SRH.
I think, you know what? The bad part is, so Ambati Raidu and Dhoni have crazy record against Siraj and Siddharth
Kaul, yeah.
As in, they are proper bogey batsmen for those two. Like, CSK's bogey team anyway for us.
And Siraj also in the last, he's not been the Siraj of last season. He's been leaking runs for some reason. I don't know what's happened.
Yeah. You know what, Siraj, but I don't bother so much, because I know that he's a natural. Let him be the natural. Just like we spoke about Umran Malik. We should just let him be, man. As in, Siraj is a natural bowler. It'll come. It's the rhythm that he's not into. I don't know, for some strange reason. His lengths are kind of not as good, right? That's the main issue. I think
I think Hazlewood is
South African.
Hazlewood is
I think it's a South African mentality for Siraj quickly, because Faf, I think he tells them to bowl wide. Start negative. I think that's one thing that I'm not liking so much about Faf, if I can, but otherwise he's a fantastic captain. I read recently about the Virat controversial. I'll ask what is your opinion? Okay, what's that?
Again, I mean, we saw the same thing happen in even the New Zealand Test match, where Pat in the same situation.
Okay.
And he was still given out. And I think there's a rule somewhere that if Bat and Pat are in the same scenario, then it's obviously Bat first. That's what.
Yeah. There's a rule, and leave rule, man. The blind eye. You go third umpire. You go nick, whether the Nicometer or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Come on, you can see with the blind eye. Come on, I mean, we've all
really there's bad. I mean, what is there to see Nicometer?
It's a clear deflection. As in, I don't think so. Sometimes we go into too much technology. And again, I think it's more about, so we say in football, right? We say that in Premier League, we should be able to hear what these referees are talking, right?
Exactly.
I actually feel in cricket is the other way around. Maybe it's some umpires, they get very conscious. So they are like, okay, it's taking too much time, or let me be specific. I have to reason out what I'm doing. So I think let them just be, man. I think the same umpire, if you have just looked at, without going into the technology, would have given it not out. That's what I personally feel, right?
Yeah.
Actually felt bad first. Well, again, but this one was clear. But I am looking at the team, so I think
CSK same team.
Yeah, Chennai is going on. As you know, CSK doesn't change teams, man.
I still would like Pretorius to play, because he's been brilliant. And but it'll be interesting to see Dixna do. I mean, obviously it was his first game. We see about his spin and all. But
I like that aspect of Chennai. They don't kind of chop and change too much, despite they are in this desperate situation. And I think, let's be honest, it is getting to that, because agar aaj nahi jeete Chennai, so I think it will be a factor where they can only lose one more game if they have to directly qualify.
I mean, we're already 6 points behind, so we don't want to be further behind now already.
Okay, so I don't have it on the website. I'll be sharing it in a minute. But Suyash Prabhu Desai playing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, as I guessed it, because Hazlewood comes in, we had to make our batting better. So, but who drops out, man? Let me, as in, I just went by quickly. Anyone who kind of noticed?
I think it's David Willey. Simple. Willey is out for Hazlewood, and obviously with Harshal Patel out, Suyash is in.
Oh, so basically, we are short on bowling then. We are probably short on bowling.
No, short out batting. You have bowlers. You have Hasaranga, Hazlewood, Siraj, Prabhudesai, Akashdeep. You have 5 bowlers there. Shahbaz Ahmed can bowl. Maxwell can bowl. I think
Prabhudesai cannot bowl 4 overs, man. Come on. Prabhudesai is at most 1 or 2 overs. And then Maxwell has to pitch in today. Maxwell has to pitch in. Pretorius should be playing his performance volunteers. Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretorius is always surprised.
I was telling.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't put it up on the official website yet.
It's in Crick Bus though. So yeah.
Yeah, let me check the other website. That's what I was saying. So
Yeah.
Usually it's up on the official website. But again, Hazlewood returning, man, Prasanna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what will you say about that. It's something that you expected, but what is his strong element? Just containing, you would say that's the best part.
He bowls proper test match length. He doesn't
Yeah.
give you he doesn't give you room to swing arms. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
So
not
I
that.
think Shahbaz is playing, Amar.
Shahbaz is playing, yeah.
Yeah, Shahbaz is playing. He has
Yeah.
to play. Yeah, please continue, Prasanna.
Yeah, so he's a proper test match length bowler, and as I said earlier, he's not the fastest going around, but he'll definitely give you at least a wicket or two in the first few overs because he has that swing and he has proper test match, the proper back of the length. Sometimes even fuller if it gets to swing. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be I think so. Who will open? I think Siraj and Hazlewood would open. Yeah.
Yeah, Siraj and Hazlewood, and then Akashdeep comes in, and then
Hasaranga and
Shahbaz has to bowl one of the overs, maybe in the power play. I feel 1 over, and then Hasaranga, and then you need Glenn Maxwell today. Again, quick buzz. Sorry to say, man. How can you put Suyash Prabhudesai? He's your next Sky man. How can you put him number 10? I know, just listing out players there, but again, like Pretorius probably the only surprise. Chris Jordan. Give him another chance against the old team in a sense, but again, I think Chris Jordan flat out should be seen, man. This guy is not good. He's not proven enough for me. But again, who's to say no when it comes to CSK versus Chennai, CSK versus RCB, because that's when Chennai really wake up. I know Harshal Patel unfortunately again is not there, but Jadeja, we remember his innings last season. What happened? So I think CSK always has that one innings, one kind of batting or bowling kind of performance against RCB, which is due, right? I feel Hazlewood will get Rutu today again. Well, let's hope so, Amar. Let's hope so. Thank you for saying that again. Yeah, don't ke lao bhai RCB fans. Again, this is a channel for everyone to see, just like Almighty Blues FC, and we'll be covering most of the franchises, even international cricket going forward. Lekin yes, of course, big up to Sports Kappa as well. Big up Ankit Prasanna and up the RCB. Yes, good to see support for RCB. Lekin, I think Anuj Rawat for me, he's the key man for RCB. If he gets that start, like you said, it's very crucial. First 2-3 in an IPL match, especially when you're chasing, that's very important, and that's something that I'm hoping Anuj Rawat does for RCB. Derain Lobo in the house. Thank you. Your thoughts on Hasaranga? I have to put my hands up, Prasanna. I did mention that Hasaranga will be a flop, but he's turning out to be better and better every game.
Dude, he's a world number one T20 bowler, man. Come on.
Yeah, he is. And we spoke about it together, right? So he is there. But what I said is flop in the sense compared to his price, what we paid, and compared to Chahal. Now, I will still go on and say that Chahal, at the end of the tournament, will prove to be the better bowler in terms of stats.
Yeah.
But I think Hasaranga has that knack of picking wickets, and that's the best part about him. Chahal is brilliant. Like in Chahal, what we are seeing is off late. I know he's still picking wicket, but off late there are players internationally as well who kind of play him out, just like Narayan, to an extent. Like Rashid Khan, it's happening, right? But Hasaranga, there are batsmen who are still going for it, so that's why he's picking more wickets at the crucial time. So I think that's something that I'm liking. Yes, Sports Kappa RCB fans since 2008, बचपन से दुख में जी रहा हूँ. Yeah, come on. RCB has always entertained us. Entertainment factor has never been down. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah.
But yes, I hear you, man, especially those two finals, man. Not against Chennai. I think that was clear. Chennai was a winner. Like in the one against Hyderabad and Deccan Chargers, both of them, in fact, it hurt me, man. It really hurt me. And the season, especially 2016, was, oh my God, what a season we had. But anyway, Hasaranga is a better overall player than Chahal. He brings in batting quality. Now, this one, let's see how much he does. I am still not very, very sure. He's your good player for number 8. Break in number 6, 7. No, he's ideal number 8 for you in an IPL game. Proper number 8. Give him 5 balls. He can belt to 3 boundaries. That's what the player is. and hit out or get out kind of player. So I would take that for sure. Lekin again, I think Chahal, just that I like his bowling. Maybe he's really an RCB legend, and that's a fact, right? And
Yeah.
Hassan needs to build on that for sure. But what's your call? Who will be the man of the match? Just kind of prediction today.
For some reason, I feel it might be Kohli because Kohli is just 28 runs short of 10,000 runs versus CSK. So he has that thing versus CSK where he always somehow scores. And even Dhoni against RCB, he also has very good numbers. So man of the match, I think.
So you have options. Ruturaj Gaikwad, by the way, has done well against RCB. You remember that match, of course, where it was a dead rubber for you, but still you made sure you beat us.
Yeah, all 3 games, I think he has batted well. Even last year, even both the games, he still played well.
Shivam Dube has scores to settle, but again,
of course,
I think
so
he's kind of falling short of what you expect.
I'll go for Robin Uthappa. Karnataka might as well.
I think for CSK, I have a strange feeling again. I've called it yet again every time I call it. Ambati Raidu for me has to be the most underrated Indian cricketer ever, almost. He's that kind of cricketer for me. Very, very underrated, Indian cricketer for whatever reason.
He always does a job for you.
Man, and he's dangerous, man. He's a dangerous player. Trust me, he's also done well against RCB. Like I said, very well against Siraj in the past, against Siddharth Kaul in the past as well. For RCB, I think again very crucial that Glenn Maxwell has come in, gives us that confidence, and I think that balance is there. But again, in bowling, I personally feel we lack that one bowler today. Yes, Harshal Patel, the wickets he picks, we cannot kind of replace that easily. So I think that is something that
I remember many of us, even me, thinking that this might be just a one season wonder, but even this season he has proved to be. He's proved to be very good.
He needs to be a mainstay in Indian cricket, man. I'm telling you, like he's become so good. Mainstay. I'm not even telling he's just about being selected. I think he should be a mainstay. Okay, RCB is PSG of IPL again. Like I always say, Rishikesh, RCB to yaar, aap thoda बढ़ा दियो. We have always been compared to Tottenham. It's better that we've got PSG at least, one of the European teams. लेकिन यार, come on. As in it's both 10 teams this season especially is not easy. Again, the table we saw, Chennai is down there, but again RCB on third. I wouldn't say that we have been probably the third best team, but you can say that we deserve to be in the top 4 at the same time. Right, Prasanna? So at this point, I know it's very, very early on, but who are your top 4 now that you've seen 4 to 5 games for every team?
So not in any particular order. So I think Rajasthan will be there. RCB I think will be there because I think from overall I think you do have a pretty good 11 and pretty good squad balance. So I think, I'm serious. I'm not joking. That's why I said even earlier at the auction you did extremely well.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I think probably then KKR I think KKR I think then I think maybe one of Gujarat or LSD might do it because So Gujarat have had a loss, so will they come back in the next game and win, or will they go on the second losses? Well, it remains to be seen. Even Lucknow, they lost their last game, and that is their decision to send Gautam at 3 and Jason Holder at 4 didn't work. Idea wasn't bad, but it just didn't work. So I think this will be my top 4. CSK I think will just look to probably settle out this season and probably spoil.
Sorry, man. I'm trying my best to get CSK into the frame, but somehow I'm not able to.
I know. It's that's the truth, man.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm just using my kind of opportunity because it's very rare it happens. Let's be honest. As an RCB fan, I can tell you, as a CSK fan, so I think might be totally different. 3 hours down the line because that's IPL for you. So you never know that. Again, 2 days down the line, they are right, at 4 points and they are at 6th position. It's quite possible. That is what this particular format has brought. And again, people in the chat,
every team that qualifies, they have at least a run of 4 or 5 games. So probably we do the same. Not saying it might happen, but we have to start now. So if we win, say 4 or 5 games on the bounce now, probably we might have a chance because we have seen Mumbai do that. They lost. Sometimes they have lost 4 or 5 games in a row and still have gone on to qualify. And that comes with them win, at least in the second half of the season, they win 4 or 5 or 6, even 6 games in a row. So it's not even like 2 wins, 1 loss, 3 wins, 1 loss, 6 wins in a row. So that can help you big time. And I think with this time, with 2 extra teams, the cutoff for playoffs might be a bit higher. Not exactly sure about that, but we need to win at least 4 or 5 games in a row to have at least a chance. If we don't do that, then I don't think either CSK.
Here again, people in the chat again do like the stream, do check out Prasanna's channel, and of course, needless to say, I'm hoping everyone has taken the poll and subscribed to us. But for you as well, do comment who are your top 4 now that probably you can say 1/4 of basically the matches have done, right? Here Rishikesh asks, who are the biggest bottlers in IPL according to you guys? Overall, I think it has to be Delhi and RCB, man. And that's the reality.
I would more say RCB because RCB have got to finals. Delhi haven't even got to that many finals. So
yeah, exactly. No, but Delhi, to be very honest about it, they have got some very good squads. I know that the year there is Maharoof. I remember Maharoof.
Hafiz Maharoof, he was very. I mean, they had players, but they never really.
What I'm trying to say, Prasanna, sorry to cut you, but the thing is, when it was played abroad, they had a lot of bowling firepower there.
Yeah.
And bowling wins you tournaments in IPL. We know that as a fact. So for me, Delhi, that's why I put RCB. Obviously, I admit that we have underperformed, especially when we kind of got to 3 finals. Come on, we should have won at least 1 final out of the 3 finals. But again, it's easier said than done. And in terms of this particular season, Prasanna, as of now, Punjab, I think probably is the team. I thought Punjab will do much better than what they are doing. Maybe even Delhi.
Same kind of things same priorities are coming back on them. They are not finishing games. I mean, the Orient Smith one, man, Jesus Christ. I mean, 13 of 2 balls, and how do you lose from there?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not serious. I mean,
I think it's a Punjab thing, right?
Punjab are giving Tewati a career.
No, I think it's a Punjab thing, to be very honest. Because you remember last season, is Kumble still there in Punjab, by the way?
Yeah, he is still there. Yeah.
I don't know, man. As a captain, he never gave an inch. As a bowler also, he never gave an inch. For some reason, Punjab, he's given them too much freedom. I feel that he probably needs to be a bit more authoritative. That's what I feel, because that team has it. The talent is there, man. Trust me that the hitters that they have, man, they can chase any score.
Livingston, Orient Smith, Shahrukh.
Oh man, check it out. And same thing about RR, you'll say the bowling they have, they can defend any score. So I think these are the 2 real strong points for me. But Darian asked, which team has impressed? So for you, I don't know. Lucknow, I already expected them to do well. To be very honest, I expected them to do well. Gujarat has kind of surprised me a little bit. I'll be very honest, Darian. But for me, RCB. For me, RCB, because Prasanna knows it. We discussed it. Maybe I was pessimistic about my team, just kind of, superstitious or whatever you might call. I actually predicted that RCB will just sneak into the top 4, But now, at least, again, that's good. It's
great
early days. They're looking like a balanced side. So, which team will be for you, Prasanna? Like, okay, wow, they have impressed me more than what I thought.
Both of them, definitely. I mean, you think new teams, new players, you think they might take some time, 2 or 3 games, but they have hit the ground running as we saw. And speaking of just today's game, let me just throw this in. I can really well see us scoring scrambling 160, 165, and then RCB, they might have a bit of a collapse in the middle, but Dinesh Karthik finishing it. I can kind of visualize it already, but that's what's most likely to happen. But I think, the main reason they have done well is they did well at the auction. Simple as both Mumbai and Chennai, they struggled at the auction. Mumbai has Jofra Archer out. We have Deepak Char out. So 2 of arguably our best power play bowler is out for both Chennai and Mumbai, which is where we are struggling. Mumbai also, we saw, even though they scored big totals, they can't defend to save their lives. And that is one thing.
You know what? It's the auction, man. Simply put, it's
the auction.
Nothing.
Rajasthan did superb in the auction, and they are reaping the results now.
And it happens. I think you were not there, right? We were discussing the other day. I think it was the weekend, the kind of roundup that we were doing. So in that, we clearly discussed that Mumbai, I think, is the 5th time, 5 mega auctions. All the 5 times, I think, the year after the mega auction, they've not done well. And that is and it's not a coincidence. The thing is, they lay too much trust on the team, on the youngsters, and they come good their second year. But the first
third season, they just kick on. I mean, you look at everyone. You look at most of them. You look at Bumrah, Hardik Pandya, even Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav.
Correct.
Surya Kumar Yadav had potential at KKR. He did well, but they let him, and now he's just gone another level. we saw last few matches in their batting how they miss Sky.
Yeah,
Clearly
absolutely.
shows.
And but Sky probably he may just get through a few games for them, man. He's in terrific form already.
Yeah.
But Bolt, I was really kind of shocked that most of the team did not go for Bolt.
Just about Sky, the 2020 game, RCB Mumbai, he single-handedly carried that chase over. I mean, you would remember that game.
Yeah.
He walked that chase till the last. I mean, I'm not rubbing it in, but I'm just saying that he's such a good player.
Correct. It has to be kind of given to him, because I think he is that level of player, probably that maturity that probably they want, reliability in middle order, and they missed in the first two games. And hopefully for their sake they'll do better. But again, so they are playing Punjab. Interestingly, the two teams we are talking about tomorrow. So there, what do you see? Punjab, probably on paper you should say that they'll come back, but Mumbai, man, they are in desperate situation right now. Again, I know that talking about Mumbai, it's probably not Mumbai topic. This guy actually plays for KKR this time. Rasik, the guy who used to previously play for Mumbai. Yeah. I was surprised the other day he bowled just 1 over, man, and he was getting swing. So do you think these captains are having too many kind of prejudged notions that he's going to play only in a certain phase of the game? Why aren't they letting players bowl, bowlers especially bowl the second over? We have already discussed 2-3 bowlers like that, right? So is there a reason that they're not doing it? It's early on in the tournament. They just want to go with the experience, or it's just that they have certain predefined plans? Because the guy, honestly, is a bowler, man. He gave him 1 over, and he bowled well in that over. And still, he didn't get a second over.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, sometimes you just let them. I mean, you saw him, he bowled only 1 over. He just gave 10 runs compared to the other bowlers. Cummins went for 50. Umesh Yadav went for 48. Varun Chakravarti, he also went for 40 plus. They were getting hit around. So probably it might just be the case of, let's not just expose him. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, I can't think of anything else. So we don't want to expose him to make him look the bad guy, because if they're hitting experienced bowlers, because Umesh Yadav has been fantastic this tournament, he was getting hit around. Patrick Cummins was getting hit around. So probably was thinking, I would rather trust my best bowlers, even though they've gone for runs over him, who is not that experienced compared to the others. Because if they were probably scoring 120, 130, 140, I think he would have been given 4 overs. But because they were going for such high runs, even then I think he could have been given an extra over, because he was unknown commodity and they might not have known how to play him.
Yeah, but you know what? As in, again, just few minutes to go. I'll quickly get a prediction from you for tomorrow's game, Mumbai versus Punjab. Any major changes? What are you predicting the game to turn out to be?
I think if Punjab wins, Punjab chases, I think they'll win, because they have got the batting to chase any score, and Mumbai's bowling is not that great, so it effectively they play into Punjab's hands. So I think if Punjab chase, they'll win, but if Mumbai chase, it's a if Mumbai chase,
you're calling Punjab win. That's
I mean, I'm like, if Mumbai chase, I think Mumbai will win, because now that the Sky factor is also there, I think he is a person not only he can bat in any situation. So I think the chasing team will probably win tomorrow. Question of who? Being a Chennai fan, and if Chennai lose today, I would want Mumbai to give us company. So I would say Punjab.
A good one. Anyway, let's see what happens today. Thank you, Prasanna. Thanks a lot. Again, people who not check out Prasanna's channel. Again, I've ended the poll, and the poll says that Faf will be the difference maker today for an ex-player. So great to actually have that for an RCB fan. But again, we will be discussing again Prasanna throughout the season. Hopefully, we'll discuss again. But again, people, do smash that like button. Do check out Prasanna's channel. And till next time, take care and come on. Yes, there's a Chelsea game. We'll be back. Come on, take care. RCB, all the best, Prasanna.
Yeah, man. See you.